What's up, my TikTok family? Just trying to get this right. How you doing? Today is going to be a good one. Freedom from the judgment of others. Today is going to be a good one. All right. How is everyone doing here on TikTok? If you're watching this on the re-air on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram TV, welcome. I'm Daniel. This is Positive TV. So today we are going to be talking about freedom from the judgment of others, and I'm going to be taking your questions. I want to answer any questions that you have about anything for sure. So remember, the rules are when you join, let me know where you're joining from, where in the world, how you doing, baby loves, where you joining from, how you doing, Jamie, 504 girl. Let me know where you're joining from. And if you have a question, because I will answer every question, leave it in the comments below. And you can also share this by this button right here. Just share it. And if you feel like you are being blessed or helped by the content, you can leave gifts if you want to as well. That little gift box that TikTok lets you do. So, Abdurrahman, where are you joining from? Otis Drip Service, where are you joining from? Let me know. I would love to know where you're joining from. Judgment. I see a lot of people responding to hate on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, hateful comments. They are literally using their time to respond to someone else's negative comments. Somebody asked me the other day, how do I deal with hate? How do I deal with the judgment from other people? And my answer is I don't. I don't. Now, we're going to talk about what judgment is. How you doing from the Netherlands? User DZ from the Netherlands. I guess it's Imish. Where are you joining from? The fear of judgment, the fear of the judgment, the fear from judgment, the fear of judgment from other people, that stops a lot of people from being who they really are. And we're going to talk about that. 4 things you need to consider today about how to break yourself free from that. Because you may not be living an authentic life, but you can be. You can be. Arcady, where are you joining from? Kelby Richards, where are you joining from? Big up. Where is Big up? Or are you saying hello? Kelby Richards, where are you joining from? I might have my wife peek her head in here and say hi to everybody. You want to do that? I'm gonna have my. I talk about my wife all the time, so I'm gonna have her peek her head in and say hi to everybody. And if you have a question that you want to ask my wife, from Stockholm, from Kenya, thank you guys so much for joining all over the world. How do we break free from judging others, from the judgment of others? Do I know it the Arabias? Yeah. Ethiopia, Fevin from Ethiopia. That chick, where are you joining from? User 345, where are you joining from? I would love to know that. Again, the rules are if how you doing Hussein, my big brother, my little brother, I'm representing Kenya. So remember, the rules are when you join, let me know where you're joining from. Number 2, if you have a question about anything, come on, join me here, baby. If you have a question about anything, leave it in the comment section right now. I will answer that question for you. But we're going to spend a little time talking about how to overcome the judgment of others. Pogu from the U.S. How are you doing? Let me back this up a little bit so you can see my amazing wife too. So for those of you who have never met my wife, this is my awesome wife. Say hi, Ashley.
Hi.
Her name is Ashley. I talk about her all the time. You all know that. She is the one person in the world who can control me. Freedom from the judgment of others. Atlanta. I love Atlanta. Plug, what is that? You are clearly the crispest lettuce, juiciest tomato, ripest avocado.
McCutest potato.
That's all. It just means you're lovely. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And
Thank
simply, that's
you.
awesome. You're awesome. She makes me who I am. So this is Baby Loves from Florida. She says, "Hey Ashley."
Hi. Hello.
So we're going to talk about judgment. Now I'm gonna, in this live. I'm going to talk about her. You're going to hear me say, even she doesn't know everything about me. So people who don't know you and they're spewing hate your way, and you're allowing that to stop you from being yourself. It's not a good thing. So we're going to talk about the 4 things you need to consider to break yourself away um, from people and their judgment. You have something you want to share with that? And I don't know if you can share. Maybe they can hear you. Say something to see if they can hear you.
Something.
I can't with her. I just can't. Woo! Thank you very much. You know what? She's absolutely amazing. You guys will
Thank
hear me
you.
say in videos, I married the woman of my dreams, and that is the honest to God's truth. I have. Says your wife has the eyes of an angel and the glowing, glistening glimmer skin of Jesus.
Oh, yes, I received
Wow.
that. Thank you.
You guys look beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank
All right.
you.
Mwah.
I love you.
All right. I love you too, baby. All right, so that was my wife. You guys hear me talk about it all the time, talk about her all the time. She is absolutely amazing. We have been married, John. This is our 7th year. We have an amazing 5-year-old daughter. In fact, you know what? Tell Danny to come here. But I'm gonna have her sit in my lap. So I talk about my daughter as well. I'm going to introduce my daughter to you guys as well. You know why? Because we're family, guys. We are family. I love you guys. I do. I do this because I absolutely love you, and you are the best in the whole world. And I want to share who I am, my life, and everything else with you. So I'm going to introduce you to my daughter in just a second, so you can meet her as well. But thank you guys so much for joining. Now, John, I think I answered your question. We've been married for 7 years. Let me see if I can type that in. Married for 7 years. All right, let's talk about this. Judgment. I have noticed something, especially here on TikTok. On TikTok, when somebody leaves a comment, you can actually reply to that comment with a video, right? And people have been spending their valuable time responding to hate. Come here, baby. Everybody say hi to my amazing daughter, Danielle. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Hi from Russia. They're joining from Russia. Thank you so much, OMG. I appreciate that. So Danny has had a busy week last week. She does gymnastics, and she was like totally busy last week. I mean, like 20 something hours of nothing but this person said hi Danielle. Say hi back. How
Hi.
old are you?
I'm 5 years
And
old.
you'll be 6 very soon, right?
Yes.
Oh, and she just lost her tooth, and the tooth fairy gave her some money. But anyway, I wanted to introduce you to her. Give me a kiss. Oh, one thing. So Danny has an affirmation that she has to say every single day. Nope, nope. Danny has an affirmation that she has to say every single day. So I want you to say it, and then you can go on back and continue to do your thing. So what's your affirmation?
I am loved. I am beautiful. I am successful. I am God's child.
I hope you guys heard that. Yes, you are. You are loved and beautiful. You're successful, and you're God's child. Danny has a business that she runs, and a whole lot of other things she's doing too. So thank you so much. I love you. All right. Bye. She's knocking stuff over. All right. Let's talk about this. So she thank you, John. John says, may you guys have many more years and long life together. That is our goal. She is it. I'm going to the grave with this one. This one is just absolutely amazing. So I want to talk about, and again, if you have a question, any question, I don't care what the question is, guys, leave it in the comments. But I really want you guys, this is day 18. I want you to break free from worrying about people judging you. Okay? Because it's going to happen. And why is it not healthy for us to allow judgment to be part of our lives? Somebody asked me the other day on TikTok, how do I deal with people who throw hate? I don't even respond to it. I ignore it. I feel sorry for people who are like that. They don't know who you are. So let's get right into it, and then I want to make sure that I'm answering your questions. How do you break free from the judgment of others? What is judgment? Judgment is when somebody places themselves above you and looks down on you. Can you think about somebody like that in your life? If you can, type yes. Judgment is when somebody places themselves above you and looks down on you. Okay? They're judging you. Now, I'm not talking about when they criticize you. That's okay. Criticism is okay, especially if it's healthy. It's going to help you to become a better person, do more, what have you. We take advice from people all the time. How? Through videos like this, lives like this, books, from mentors, people like that. We take their advice. That's good. Judgment is completely different. Judgment is evil. It's evil. And people do it all the time. They do it all the time. So people will say negative things about somebody on a video. And for the life of me, I can't understand why people would spend 1 second of their time responding to it. I'm going to say this one last thing, and then I'm going to get into these 4 things you need to consider. There was a guy who had an instrument, and somebody said on his video that this thing wasn't real. So this guy spent $75 of his money to do a 40-second video to prove to that person that it was real. To me, that's absolutely ridiculous. Why did he do that? Why did he have to prove that to that guy? Why? He knew it was real. Why did he have to prove that? And that's what I'm talking about when I say judgment. People who judge you try to get you out of character. People who judge you try to make you feel this way or that way. Now, I'm about to say something. That I really want you guys to listen to, and because this has been asked of me before, and I want to be clear when I say this. Someone asked me once, if someone called you the N word, would that make you mad? No, it wouldn't. If somebody called me the N word, would that upset me? No. If they got too close and put their hands on me, they got a problem. But them calling me the N word wouldn't bother me at all because they don't know me. So they're just showing me who they are, how evil they are, how nasty they are. They're just showing me who they are. And that one day will catch up to them because they will call somebody the N word who it does bother, and they're going to catch somebody's hands. But it doesn't bother me. No, I haven't been called it before, but maybe I have, but it doesn't bother me because I know who I am. And I do not respond to hate. I just don't. What I do is I take note of it and I remove that person or thing from my life. Period. There is no coming back from it at all. I don't care who it is. Friends, family members, strangers, co-workers, I do not care. I remove it from my life because I value my life, my time, my peace, those kinds of things. So, 4 things you need to consider to free yourself from the judgment of others. Remember, this is day 18 of 40 days to freedom, power, and success. And this is talking about freedom from the judgment of others. Number 1, why do you need to free yourself, or how do you free yourself from the judgment of others? Number 1, you got to be yourself. When you are authentic, you need to be authentic for you, not for other people. Be yourself for you, not for somebody else. Because if you are being yourself or something for somebody else, you're being what they want you to be and not what you were created to be. You got to learn how to love yourself so much that you will not allow people to make you become something that you were not created to be. You have to fall in love with yourself. Learn your uniqueness, your specialty. You're special. There are things that you can do that I can't even begin to wrap my head around doing. You're just that special. And so when you are canceling that special out because you're trying to impress somebody else or gain their acceptance, their approval, you're not being yourself. That's not cool. You need to be you. The second thing you need to consider, and remember, if you have a question, leave it in the comments below because I'm going to answer all of your questions. Number two, the reason why you need to free yourself from the judgment of others is because people only know what you show them. They only know the part of you you show them. Nobody knows all of you. I told you, even my wife, who I sleep with every night, who I spend 99% of my time with, she doesn't know all of me. Not all of me. And I don't know all of her. Right? Now, she knows more about me than anybody else. But no one can know all of you. So you only show them what you want them to see. If that is what you're doing all the time, then that's a challenge. Now, why do you want to be authentic? Because you want to know who's real in your life, who's there because they really love you and care about you, who will accept you for who you are. If you're doing and changing who you are for acceptance, that's a problem. Then you're concerned about what other people think about you. And that's not healthy. Number three, the reason why you need to break yourself away. How you doing, Virtual Sasha? The reason why you need to break yourself away from other people's judgment is because judgment from others is a way for them to feel better about themselves. Now, type yes if this happens in your life. You're doing well, right? Somebody thinks that you're doing better than they're doing. So what they do is they talk shit about you to try to make you feel bad about yourself because they want to try to feel equal to or better than you. Has that happened in your life? Happens in mine. People try to make me feel bad because they have no idea about what's going on in my life. But because I appear to be doing well and they think that I'm doing better than them, they are going to heap their judgment on me. And I may not be doing better than them in some areas, but because they think that, they are going to try to say things about me that are not good. That's sad. You need to break yourself away from the judgment of others because of that. And finally, the last thing is when you accept somebody else's judgment, you are giving that person power over you. And is that what you want? When you accept their judgment of you, you are giving that person power over you. And that's not cool. I mean, if you're anything like me, you feel uncomfortable when that happens. You're giving them power over you. You are giving them power over you. You are giving them power over you, and you need to take that power back. I don't care who it is, parents, siblings, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, best friend, whoever it is, don't give them power over you. I'm going to repeat these 4 things again, and I'm going to answer your questions. Number 1, the reason why you need to break free from the judgment of others is because you need to be authentic, be yourself for you, not for somebody else. Be you for you. Love yourself enough that you are going to be authentic. Be yourself for you, not for somebody else. Number 2, the reason why you need to break yourself away from free yourself from the judgment of others is because you need to realize people really only know what the part of you show them. That's it. They don't know everything else. Only what you show them. That's it. And if they don't like it, that's on them. That ain't on you. Number 3, judgment is a way for people to try to feel better about themselves, right? They think you're rising. You're doing better than them. So they're going to start talking about you to try to push you down. There are 2 ways to build the biggest city, the biggest building in a city. 2 ways. Thank you, Elena. 2 ways to build the biggest building in a city. 1, tear every other building down. Or number 2, actually build the biggest building in that city. Most people would prefer to tear you down so that they can look bigger than you, instead of working on themselves, using your success as a mirror. How you doing, Jade? Using your success as a mirror, right, to better themselves. They will much rather try to tear you down, beat you down, tear you down so that they can feel equal to or better than you. Judgment. You need to break yourself away from it. And finally, when you make the conscious decision to accept another person's judgment over you, you are giving that person power over your life. That's what you're doing. And that's not cool. It's not cool. It's not cool. Now, I'm going to answer your questions. Remember, if you're not following me and you like this live, follow me. You can always unfollow me. That was a rule I didn't talk to you about. Okay. So let's answer your questions. All right. If you have a question, leave it in the comment section right now. So user 864, I don't know if I understand your question. How do you not worry about it? Is that what you're asking me? If it is, then ask the question again. How do you not worry about it? Sasha, thank you so much. I appreciate that compliment. So OMG Thugger Thug says, what books should you read? There are a couple of books that I recommend that you read just for life in general. And so just take this down or watch it in the re-air. How to Win Friends and Influence People is a great book to read. If you want to be successful in life, there's another book by Vince Lombardi Jr. called What It Takes to Be Number One. But there are tons of content out there. If you want to, you got to find something that you connect to, whether it's YouTube videos or content like this that help you, that speak to your soul. There are things that speak to my soul that may not speak to yours. I'm not in your shoes. I didn't come from where you came from. You didn't come from where I came from. We may have met each other on this road on the way up, but you have to figure out what's right for you and find content that speaks to you. The way it works in my life is I will latch on to somebody, usually for a year, maybe 2 years. I'll latch on to that person, and I got what I need from that person's content, and then I move on to somebody else and keep them in the background. But you got to find out as a 17-year-old, what speaks to you. What kinds of things do you want to do in life? What kinds of things do you enjoy? And you find experts in those areas and you begin to consume that content. If it's self-esteem, find somebody that you can latch onto. If it's success, if it's business, if it's happiness, if it's whatever, find somebody whose content that you can consume and consume all of it. I hope that helped you. Sandra says, how do I improve my self-esteem? All right, now listen to me, Sandra. I'm going to answer your question for you. Sandra Griffin, 614. Self-esteem, right, is your feeling, how you feel about yourself. An easier way is, how much do you love you? Okay? That's what self-esteem is. How you feel about you. And the way you begin to improve your self-esteem is this. Number 1, shut out all negativity. Because the way you feel about you right now it came from somewhere. And usually the number one reason Why people have low self-esteem, it's because there is an authority figure in their life that told them that they were nothing, not any good, those kinds of things. So that could have been a parent, a teacher, a coach. They may have spoken negatively, and they spoke enough that now it's actually part of your life, and you're starting to believe what they said. You have to reverse that. The only way to change it is you have to make sure that you're putting in positivity into your brain, which allows, and if you fill your brain up with mind up with positive things, it will push out the negativity, right? And it will cause you to start thinking differently about yourself, right? Low self-esteem, a low image of self, comes from a low level of love for oneself. So you have to start putting in positive things into your mind, doing things for you and not for other people, and start to push out the negative information that was put into your mind that caused you to have low self-esteem and feel the way you are. Because listen, as you are powerful, and there are things that you can do that no one else can do. That you see things in a way that no one else sees it. There are parts of you that are like no one else in the world. So you need to understand that. And I'm not saying that to gas you up. I'm telling you that's the truth. So learn to just love you. And if that means getting away from people who are negative and then surrounding yourself with positive content until you're ready to come out of that shell and be all that you can be for the rest of the world, do that. But usually it's because some authority figure has caused you to feel this way about yourself and you believed it. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a coach or a teacher or somebody else that you respected. So you have to make sure that you do that. Now, Baby Love says something. I was on Instagram Live, and I'm going to acknowledge this. She said something that was very, very important about how do you not judge. I asked her the question on live, how do you avoid the judgment of others? She says, listen, I'm not going to lower my standards for anybody. So when I see that a person is causing me to lower my standards, I don't do it. That's very, very insightful. So if people are asking you or judging you and causing you to be something that is a step down from where you are, don't do it. Don't do it. Keep your standards high. Make people raise their standards to where you are right now. That's important. User864 says, why do people say it's my opinion? They're trying to soften the blow. And listen, I think criticism is fine. People who love you and care for you, they can criticize you. They can give you their opinion on things. What I'm talking about is people who are trying to judge you and they don't know anything about you. They want to give you their opinion and they have no idea about where you're coming, where you came from, where you're going to, and what you're trying to do. They have no idea. They are just haters.
Even if they do, you have to love yourself enough to know what to filter out and what to filter in. Because people can know you and still judge you.
So Ashley said, even if they do know you, you have to love yourself enough to filter certain things out. You have to know you, love you. That's important. Baby Loves, that's correct. They show their true color. They show their true colors. Sasha says you will never get to your destination if you stop. That's correct. Quitting is the only way to fail in life. If you keep going, if you keep trying, you can't fail. Martin Luther King 7 says conflict is the result of unexpressed expectations. Let me also say this, Martin Luther. Conflict, disagreement is also two people who agree how to get to the same place, but different pathways. Okay? Two people who are trying to get to the same place, but they have different pathways. That's a conflict as well. Okay? And so when you come up against that, I think it's important to try to understand your perspective. You try to understand my perspective. so that I can come to the best resolution and move forward in that. But sometimes conflict is the result of unexpressed expectation. I think it's important to tell people what you want, how you want it, when you want it, no matter what it is you want. That's important. Stacy says, protect your peace. Absolutely. There's enough chaos going on in the world that you allow people to disturb your peace. That's what I'm talking about. You put information on social media. You say something to somebody. You have relationships. You go out with your friends, and they judge you. Oh, ooh, girl, why you wear that short dress? Or ooh, girl, that's cut too low. No, it's cut too low for you. It's what I want to wear. Ooh, girl, why are you with him? Because I love him. You don't have to be with him. They just People are just judgmental because they want to feel better. A lot of times they want to feel better about themselves, and that's why they judge you like that. Now, if they criticize you in a constructive way, that's fine. But this judgment thing has to go. Sasha says, don't throw stones at barking dogs. Ignore them. Yes, eventually that dog will stop barking. But what hate needs to be fueled is a response. You're right. People who judge you need you to respond to their judgment so they can continue to try to judge you. So you're right. My solution is I ignore it. I say nothing about it. I don't acknowledge it because I don't care, because they don't know me. So you're right. Don't throw stones at barking dogs. Just ignore them. I appreciate that comment. Virtual Sasha, greetings to you. Happy Sunday. Elena says, all my respect for you. All my respect to you as well. Elena says, very true what I'm saying. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Remember, if you're not following and you want to follow, this is an opportunity for you to do that. And if the content sucks, unfollow. All right. So Jade says, what's up for discussion? Anything is up for discussion. You can ask any question that you want. I'll be happy to answer it. Thank you, Martin Luther. You said it was a good comment. I appreciate that. Okay, let me go down here to some of your comments. All right. Alejandra, thank you. I'm glad you think this is powerful. I just want to help as many people as I can. Um Mvin May 01, you wish more people could hear it. Share this content with as many people as you can. I wish people could hear it too. I really do. Kwame says thank you. Kwame says he just graduated. Is it advisable to pursue a job in a theater of arts during these times? Okay, Kwame, that's a great question. I think that you should follow your passion. Okay? Because your passion, whether it's art or not, it would lead you to your purpose. And that is where the bank or the money is in many cases. Okay? There are two things that you will get from pursuing things that you're passionate about and you love. One is you can get paid from it for sure, right? That's one. But the other thing you're going to get that's worth, that's priceless, is you're going to be happy. You are going to be happy. And if you're happy, you are more productive. You do more of what you love. If you do more of what you love, if the quality is better, if you do more of it, then that's going to be recognized. People are going to do it. So here's another example. During the pandemic, I started 3 online businesses outside of the 2 that I already had. 3. So it's a good time if what you have to offer can benefit those people who need it. So yes, pursue it. I would say go after your passion. You're going to be happy, and eventually you'll make the money that you want to make. Shamar says this truly means a lot. Thank you so much for saying that. Jayla, you said what's up for discussion? As I said before, leave it in the comments. I'll answer it. Baby loves, this lesson is a true statement. Okay, OMG says, how can I lose fear by myself? All right. So what is fear? What is fear? There are two types of fears, right? One is being afraid, and it's a healthy fear, and one is mental. I'm going to try to give some vivid examples. If you were in the forest and you've been chased by a bear, you should be afraid because that bear is probably going to tear you to pieces. So that fear, the way that you deal with that kind of fear is you run your ass off to try to avoid him. There's another kind of fear. It's mental. Okay, you heard the acronym false evidence appearing to be real. You have created an image or an idea in your mind about something that is going to happen that hasn't even happened. I spoke about many videos ago. I spoke about a woman who was afraid to fly, almost 80 years old, never been on a plane because her thought was the moment she got on the plane, her plane was going to be the one that crashed. That's fear. She's afraid to fly because she thinks that by doing so, the plane is going to crash. And she's never flown in her life. Now, what is that? She's created an image or an idea in her mind that the plane is going to crash, so she doesn't get on it. People do that all the time. I'm afraid. I was coaching a couple Friday, and they were talking about one business, and I was asking them a question about, no, what are you passionate about? And they told me. So I asked the guy, why don't you do that? And he said, well, I'm afraid it won't work. How do you know it's not going to work? Try it. Start with, it was a mentoring program. Start with one young man, add a second one and a third one. That's how you build. But to be afraid to start because you are afraid that it's not going to work, that's senseless. That's the kind of fear you do not want in your life. The way you lose fear is you try it a little bit at a time. You have to push yourself through it. The opposite of fear is faith. The opposite of fear is faith. Believe that you can do it. Try it and see. Okay? Believe that you can do it. Try. Now, one of the ways that you can help yourself out is you can educate yourself on the thing that you are fearful of. And then use that as fuel to help you take the next step. Martin Luther says, do I agree that conflicts are caused by unexpressed expectations? Yes, I do. I also believe that if a person, so if you don't set clear expectations for what it is you want, and a person is just being themselves and they violate your standards or expectations in one way, shape, form, or fashion, that is an opportunity for you to stop and say, hey, did I share this with that person? Do they know I don't like this? I'm going to give you an example of that. In the beginning of the relationship, my wife's relationship and I, in the beginning of our marriage, one of the things that bugged me was if I sent her a text message just throughout the day, I wanted a text reply back. It didn't have to be immediate because I know she works, but I've sent that text message this morning. It's all day, and you're just coming home, and then she would show me her phone. She said, "Baby, I didn't even open my text messages," and she'll have 150 text messages that are unopened. The point I'm trying to make is she doesn't look at her text messages as often as I do. So I had to explain to her the reason why I sent her a text. I wanted you to know that I was thinking about you, that I wanted you to know to feel me. That's what I want you to understand. So if I send you a text and you see it come across your watch or just a quick reply makes me feel good, lets me know that you're thinking about me as well, right? That was important. So the reason why I was a little bothered by it is because I never set that expectation in the beginning. And there are some things that she set as expectations for me. One of the things my wife is important, that's important to her is open communication, honest communication about everything, especially finances. Open, honest communications. Don't let me be blindsided with something financial when you have the power to tell me. Because if you don't tell me, then you're removing me, removing my options from the scenario, right? So we set these expectations as they come up. You have to make sure that you're clear. Now, don't, if you haven't told the person or set the expectation, I would say try not to get upset about it. Sit that person down and say, that bothers me, and this is why. And I would love it if you consider making an adjustment. And then that person will give you their perspective and they go from there. So I do agree that many conflicts are caused because of unexpected expectations, especially in relationships. Sasha Keys, is it okay to date a person from a different religion? Um, the answer to that question is yes, if you guys respect each other's religion. You have to understand that if that religion is in conflict with yours, you're probably going to have a problem. It's easier to date someone who you both believe the same thing from a religious perspective versus an extreme example. One person is a Christian, another person is an atheist. That's probably going to cause some problems. It's going to cause problems. So I think that, yeah, you can date whoever you want. You just have to know what you're getting into. You just have to know what you're getting into. Elena said, you're a very good soul. Thank you. I'm expressing my heart. I'm being authentic. I'm not trying to give people what I think they want to hear. I'm trying to speak truth, the truth that I know. I'm trying to share that with as many people as possible. So that makes me a good soul. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I love you for that. Okay, what should I do if I feel so numb and I'm starting hating everybody? So nag, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. What should I do? I feel so numb and I'm starting to hate everybody. What's making you feel numb? That's the first thing I want to know. I want to know what's making you feel numb. So leave that in the comment section and then we will deal with that. Um, Kwame, you said you want me to do a video on the books, please. So Kwame, I'll do a video on books, and then what I'll do is I will actually I will talk about content inside that book that I believe will be helpful to you. But if there are some books that you would like for me to recommend, Kwame, send me a DM. I need to know a little bit more about what's important to you. If it's finances, if it's relationships, is it self-esteem, whatever. I'll be more than happy to do some recommendations there as well. But I will start doing that. So I appreciate that. But in fact, I'll one day next week I'll pull a book down from that I like, and I'll present it to you guys, and I'll talk about what in that book I believe is powerful information that all of us can use right now to enhance our lives, help us to be more positive, to help us to be more productive and successful in our lives, to free us. What kind of things can we do? Elena says, I have a lot of experience. I'm 55 years old, sweetie. I've lived 55 years. And I'm very in tune with myself. I know when I fucked up. I know when I've done things wrong, and I try to learn from it. And then when things kind of blindside me, I try to figure out why didn't I see that. So I try to evaluate my life on a day by day basis. What could I do better? And there are some things that I fail at miserably. There are some things that I do very well, but I try to make sure that I'm living an authentic life and I'm happy and I'm doing things that I love. And I try to clean up my mistakes if I've made them, for sure. So Nag says, answer my question, please. Did I answer your question? Okay. Okay. I did answer it. User 864 says, how don't you take it to heart? Well, if a person says something negative to you, you have to ask yourself, does that person really know me? Really, really know me? Like if I said something to you right now about you, and I've never met you one day in my life, we've only connected via lives like this. Why would you take, like if I said something negative, why would you be offended by that? I don't know you, right? In a real way. I love you, but I don't really know you, right? So I don't have the privilege of being able to judge you, look down on you, and judge you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You got to recognize that. You have to consider the source. Who's saying this? That's first. Do I believe that's true about myself? That's second. If the answer to that question is no, you dismiss it. If you believe it is true about yourself, you ask yourself this question: am I okay with it? Then that's fine. If you're not okay with it, what do I need to change? So you don't have to take it to heart. So Tisha, Tease, Sharon, best way to deal with a younger manager who tears down my all of my input in dealing with work. Okay. The job of the real job of a manager is to remove barriers, allocate resources, and support you so you can get a job done. If somebody is managing you, you are an extension of them. Okay. So if this manager is putting you down, they have a problem. Okay. What they're trying to do in many cases is prove to you by tearing you down that they deserve the position that they're in. In the military, I was in the military, the U.S. Army for 10 years. And, um, I made it all the way to the rank of a sergeant. And we would have college people who came into the military out of college, and they were first lieutenants, second lieutenants, that kind of thing. And they were much younger than us, right? You don't have to respect the person, but you should respect the person's position. So that was very well understood in the military. I respect your position, right? But if you're dumb and you're telling me to do something that's going to get me killed, well, I got a problem with that. This young manager may have an inferiority complex, and they're trying to prove to you that they deserve what they have. So take a different approach. Um, have a one-on-one with that person and ask the question, or let them know how you feel. Hey, I gave this input, this idea. You're tearing it down. Why is that? And if that person won't listen to you, I would go to that person's manager and have the conversation with that manager as well. If you can't get the kind of response you want, or you're not getting the results that you want, this is just me. I'm not telling you to do it. I'll be gone. In the story, I'd leave that company and go somewhere else, because you deserve to be heard. And if your idea trumps other ideas, it will be in the best interest of that company to use it. Claudio Banks, Kwame, just graduated. We already talked about that. Okay. So Elena said it's easier to judge instead of trying to understand the other person. Yeah, for a lot of people it is, but I mean, that's the person who is judging, that's their problem. What we have to do is recognize that, so that we're not falling into the trap of trying to impress that person or be something that that person would like us to be, because they are fucking uncomfortable with how good you are. You know what I mean? Kwame says judgment belongs to the Lord. That's true. All right. Let me see here. All right. So Martin Luther says, can judgment of others help with self-awareness? Can judgment from others? Yeah, it can help to identify some things that you may need to consider in your life. But judging others, if I'm understanding your question correctly, does not help with self-awareness. I believe that people who judge others are doing so because they feel like they're better than other people, and they want to put them down, and that helps them feel better about themselves. They want to try to pull you down instead of building themselves up. Instead of looking at you as an example and saying, you know what? I admire that strength in this person. So instead of tearing that strength down, I am going to try to strengthen myself in that way. But a lot of people, I mean, that takes courage. A lot of people would much rather pull you down instead of helping to build you up and saying, you know what, that's good. You did a good job. That was awesome. Period. And try to become better. So Kwame says, thank you for the comment. So many voices and you were a little confused. You're clear. Again, Kwame, follow your heart. You know what's inside of this mind of yours and what makes you happy. I got a son. I have a son. My youngest son is in his mid-20s, and I had an opportunity to see him last night. And he's been doing music since he was 6. I remember I bought a music program, and he's still pursuing music. I don't judge. He works 2 jobs, but he's still pursuing music. I don't judge it. Do it until you don't want to do it anymore. I don't care how old you are. You could try to make it when you're 45. I don't care. But if it brings you happiness, peace, joy, you love it, keep doing it. Now, don't let it make you homeless. Try not to do that, but do it. Make music. Keep doing it as much as you can. And then if I can help in any way, shape, form, or fashion, I'm going to help. But do it. Do what's in your heart to do. Do what you have to do while you're doing that, but do what's in your heart to do. That's the advice you should follow, period. Because people are going to tell you what they think you should do. But again, back to what I said, they don't really know you. You could have gone to school and got a degree in something that they wanted you to have a degree in, not something that you were passionate about. Now it's your opportunity to do what is good for you. Little bit of me 33. Then you keep on making other people feel at peace, but I wonder, how do you cope in today's society? Um, Little bit of me, that's a very good question, and I'm going to answer that question for you. And this is the answer. How do I remain cool, calm, and at peace? I recognize that the only thing that I can control is me. That's it. I can't control COVID. I can't control the weather. I can't control bosses, customers, clients, suppliers. I can't control them. I have no control over that. So I only accept those things in my life that I can deal with and control, and everything else I discard. I don't worry about tomorrow. I don't concern myself with it. I understand I can't control it, and I'm not afraid of that. What I can control is right now. 5 seconds from now, if something changes, okay, I will figure out a way to navigate my way through it. Not try to change that situation. I have to make sure that I am figuring out a way for me to move forward and navigate my way through it. I stay calm, centered, recognizing that I can't control everything. I can only control what I have control of. And that's how I deal with today's society. One last thing. I can't control what other people do when it comes to COVID, right? You don't want to wear a mask? I do. You don't want to wear a mask? I don't have to be around you. I don't have to invite you to my place, and I'm not coming to yours. You don't have to believe it's true. I do. So I have an obligation to take care of me and my family. And I wouldn't care who it is. My mom could say, well, I'm coming over to your house, or I'm going to meet you and I'm not going to wear a mask. I would say, Mom, oh, I love you. My mom is way up there in my life, but you can't come around me. Not like that, because your carelessness, right, is not going to kill me. I'm not going to let it happen. So I only try to control what I can control, and that's it. And I rest in that. One day at a time, 1 hour at a time, one step at a time, 1 minute at a time, one issue at a time. That's it. That's how I deal with it. Okay. Cheryl Moore says, hi, Daniel. I'm a stroke survivor. There are times I feel insecure about my disability. Any advice? Yes. You got to stop. You have to stop caring about what other people think about you. The other day I spoke about optimism. What good can you extract from that disability? What lessons can you learn from having a stroke that can help someone else to cope with it better? What kinds of strengths you gained through that adversity that you can begin to share with other people who may be going through something completely different? When you focus on the things that you gained from it and not always focus your attention on what you lost, and you begin to give those gains away to other people, eventually you will not consider or concern the loss. You won't even worry about it. You will just say, the pain of that moment has created a power in me that I cannot share with somebody else. That's what I'm doing right here. I've made millions in business. I've also made mistakes and lost millions in business. And so I don't focus on the losses. I focus on the lessons from the losses so that I can share it with you so that you don't have to take the L. Okay? So that's what you need to do. Yes, you had a stroke. Yes, it made you disabled. But what did you learn from it? And what can you now share with other people to give them strength? So you turn that challenge, right? Right? Into a championship principle that other people can now use and don't have to go through the same thing. If that's the case, is it really a disability? Or have you grown stronger because of it? That would be my advice. OMG Thug says, why can't I find you on Instagram? It is the Daniel Smiley on Instagram. At the THE Daniel Smiley. I'm there. I'm actually right now I'm restricted on Instagram until the day after tomorrow, so you might not be able to find me until then. But anyway, all right. Kwame, thank you for the book's comment at the moment as a dad of two. All right. Hello, sir. How often do you do lives? Jade, I do live. I try to do a live every day, 6 to 7 times a week. I will do a live because I want to be on here. This is I am I, you guys feed me. I love being able to answer your questions. I love doing this. So every day for 30 to 45 minutes, I try to do a live. Okay, I'm going to answer a couple of more questions and then I will see you guys tomorrow. Kwame says, as an African immigrant dad of two, books on finance, investment will be appreciated. Okay. What I want you to do, Kwame, is I want you to read the book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The reason why I want you to read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, because it's going to tell you how money works, and it's also going to tell you a perspective from a rich dad's perspective and a poor dad's perspective. Robert Kiyosaki. You need to make sure you get that book. Start there. That book should be helpful to show you how the world of money works. So that's a good thing. And then I'll also, if you leave me a DM, I'll give you a couple other recommendations by I can't remember. Dave Ramsey is another person that talks about how money works and all that good stuff and how to live the right way. So I'll talk to you about anything on Dave Ramsey as well. Jay says it's first time joining my live. Jay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. User 7763, you said you need my help. Tell me what you need. I'll be happy to help you if I can. How do you send messages? You got to follow me. Follow me, and then you can send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to answer those messages for you. And if you want to email me, you can email me too. Coach Daniel Smiley at gmail.com. Coach Daniel Smiley at gmail.com. You can email me. If you want to find me on Facebook and WhatsApp me, go to my go to my Facebook page. It's the Daniel Smiley, at the Daniel Smiley on Facebook, and you can click WhatsApp, and I'll communicate with you through WhatsApp as well. Martin Luther King said, you said you appreciate my wisdom and spirit. I thank you so much. Last question. What can we do to enable you and contribute to your mission? That's a good question. Okay, so I'm not big on this, but um, if you want to be a blessing, if you want to give, that's fine. You can. Um, I would prefer. I'm gonna give you my two preferred ways. Number one, click the link in the bio on Instagram or TikTok. Go buy a shirt. This one says "Be positive or be gone." Go buy a shirt. That way, you're getting something for it. If you want to give directly to me because you want to help further this kind of thing, you can cash app $ Daniel Smiley 305. I don't usually do that, but if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Cash at me at $ Daniel Smiley 305, and you can give that way as well. You don't have to. I don't ask for that. I do this because I love you. However, I never want to prevent a person from being able to sow a seed into my life if that's what they want to do. So I'm open to that. I appreciate it. Um, Baby loves, you say you'll see me tomorrow. I appreciate you. Guys, that was the last question that I would take. I appreciate it. If you have a question and you want to ask me, you did not ask it here on this TikTok live. Follow me, ask it in my DM. I will follow you back. I'll follow you back. Ask it in my DM, and I'll be happy to answer for you. If this was helpful to you, leave hearts at the bottom in the comment section. I really appreciate you guys. I will be back tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard US time. And I am going to be answering your questions again, and we're going to be discussing another subject. I love you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for sharing this time with me today. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.